Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Beekeeper Tarot. My name is Alan, as you know. I'd just like to say once again a big shout out to everybody that's been commenting and liking my videos and watching my videos. I do appreciate it. There's content now, as you know, on beekeeping and on tarot as well. So I really appreciate your support. Now, I'm just going to read some notes here because I want to talk about what's happening with Jack Smith. So, Jack Smith has just filed a motion in Atlanta to reverse Judge Cannon's decision to stop the case against Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago with to do with the documents. Entertainment purposes, only YouTube. Had to say that. So basically, he filed the briefing, which was an 88-page briefing the day before any briefings could be the day before it was due. So the day before that there will be no more briefings, except that he applied the day before. So basically, he's only put in a motion to start the case up again. He hasn't actually said anything in the motion to recuse Judge Cannon. And I was watching Glenn Kirshner again just now this morning, and he seems to think that the reason that Jack Smith didn't do that was because Jack Smith, Glenn Kirshner seems to think that the 11th Circuit will um, reject what Judge Cannon said and start the case up again. That's what Glenn Kirshner seems to think. And then that process has to go through um, as everything, it's not going to happen straight away. So the nuts and bolts of it is that Trump's lawyers will submit their response, and then Jack Smith responds to Trump's lawyers, and then it commences oral arguments, and then that's where it goes from there. So this won't be resolved anytime soon, and it definitely, unfortunately, won't be resolved before the election. Um, and also to note as well, Clarence, in that horrible immunity decision that SCOTUS made, the Supreme Court of the US made regarding Trump's immunity, Clarence Thomas said basically he did an addition to the ruling about Trump's immunity as president, which I won't go into that, but I'll just say this. Um, he entered what was called a concurring opinion, which was a little side piece, basically saying to Judge Cannon, hey, I don't think that the special counsel is the thing. I don't know if Jack Smith has the authority to work because he's a special counsel. And so very soon after that, Judge Cannon dismissed the case against Donald Trump on a technicality because Jack Smith didn't have the right to prosecute or go after Trump as a special counsel. Now that goes back into law, that goes back into quite some time ago. And even with Nixon, I think there was a precedent where he was recused or a special counsel was used to prosecute him over Watergate. So basically, according to Glenn Kirshner, and once again, YouTube entertainment only, and I'm not an American, obviously, so, and I'm not a lawyer or anything like that. But this is just my very humble opinion of that. It seems to me, from what I'm hearing, that Judge Cannon's decision to stop the case had no legal basis at all, and she was basically just doing Donald Trump a favor. So that's the background to this. And what I wanted to do was to have a look at a few things, and the first being what will happen now. So will the 11th Circuit start the case up again with regarding to Jack Smith? So will this case now be a thing again? So I'll have a look at the cards, eh? Will the case against Donald Trump, the documents case, once again, will the case against Donald Trump with documents, will it start again after Judge Cannon stopped it? So will the documents case start To commence again, will the documents case begin and commence again? Okay. All right, let's have a look-see, guys. I'll just move some of these crystals out the way. I've got anyway. So will the documents case commence again? A priestess, Hierophant. Wow. Three of Wands. Hangman. Gonna go a bit further. Four of Wands. Three of Cups. Seven of Cups. Judgment. Okay. So I think, looking at these cards, I think it's actually going to be a greater thing. I think this is going to affect all three cases. So there's the stolen documents, there is the January the 6th, and the fake electors, all those three federal cases that are against Trump. Because I've got I've got the three of wands and I've got the three of cups. I'll go into that, but I'm getting a call to three cards. So anyway, first card that came out was the High Priestess. So this is Judge Cannon with all her secrecy and all her hidden agendas. So that's what's at the heart of this. This is what Jack Smith is trying to reveal. He's trying to, like I said, get this case started again, and in a way, look behind the curtain. If you know the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there's a curtain behind you. He's wanting to get into the murkiness of it all. He's wanting to get behind that curtain. So this is Judge Cannon, entertainment only YouTube. This is Judge Cannon sitting with all her secret and hidden agendas. So it's going to the Hierophant. It's going to the 11th Circuit Court. So they're going to have a look at that to try and see what's going on with that. So this is the direct link. Now, it's going to be suspended. It's going to take time. I wouldn't say it's going to be suspended, but it's going to take time because it's got to go through all the different processes. Like I said, it's got to go through the processes of when. So I'm just trying to get my head around this. So Jack Smith submitted his briefing. Trump's lawyers will submit their briefing. Then after that, it goes to Jack Smith will submit his reply. But I do think with the hangman, I do think in this delay process, I'm getting a call to the bottom of the card. There's going to be a bit of different perspective about this. And I do think with the three of wands waiting for the ships to come in. So I do think that this is actually going to affect all the other cases. I think what's happening now is actually going to be bigger than just this case. And I'll tell you why I get that. So underneath that is the four of wands, and I've got the three of cups. So the four of wands is my card for the White House, and the three of cups. This is the card where you've got in the Rider-Waite deck, you've got the three women celebrating the cup. But you can see here as well, this is the process. So this process of, Jack Smith, Donald Trump, and then Jack Smith again, it's this process, and it is very emotional. But I'm getting a pull here with these two cards. This is when Kamala Harris comes into the White House, and predominantly because, pardon me for putting the card in front of my face, because predominantly it's going to be a strong female vote. The women are really going to vote, and it's going to be a thing about voting. It's going to be this election. The majority of this election, well, not the majority, but a great emphasis on this election will be about women's rights and the reversal of Roe versus Wade, which obviously women should be able to choose what they do with their bodies. Absolutely. I mean, insanity that they can't in some states, absolute insanity and BS that they can't. So I think this is when Kamala Harris comes into the election. Then they're going to look at this mess with the Seven of Cups, and they're going to try and work out what's real and what's not real. And this is the card of illusion and delusion. I think this is actually going to go higher than that. I'm going to have a look at this in a minute. But they're going to go higher than this one case, because this is actually involving where the Supreme Court has said things, from my understanding, that are quite unconstitutional. So I do think that this is where this is heading. And then there's going to be judgment. There's going to be judgment, a divine judgment. So I do think eventually there will be judgment and there will be justice. Actually, I'm going to pull cards on that judgment card. Give me 2 seconds. Just going to pull cards on this judgment. So is this going to be, how is this judgment going to go? Like what? It's just going to pull 3 cards with regard to this judgment card. Is this going to be a judgment to start the case again, or a judgment to stop the case again? Spirit, 3 cards. Judgment. 3 cards. Judgment. What's this? Yeah, okay. So what I've got here, I've got the Ace of Cups. So this is the new beginning. So this is going to be a new start to the case. That's a good thing. 5 of Wands, there's going to obviously be some argy-bargy in that whole process. It's not, there's obviously going to be some argy-bargy, and I think that Trump will do everything he can to throw spanners in the works. But also, too, I think this is him. Actually, that's what this is. This is Donald Trump not knowing what to do. When this case starts again, he's going to be freaking out, not knowing what to do, where to go, legal arguments, this, that, and that, and the other. The Queen of Coins, I think this is just the overriding emotion about the whole energy, and I think in a way the exhaustion that we're all feeling. And really predominantly, I think this is the women again. I keep thinking that this is going to go ahead because women are going to be really predominant in this election. I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's to do with this election, because we all know if Trump wins the election, this is all kiss it goodbye. All these cases are, they're thrown out. But I think the strong women vote in the election is what's gonna make it. And I think it's the women that are annoyed with the Roe v. Wade decision. I know that this isn't a reading specifically about Roe v. Wade, but this is what I'm getting. And that's gonna be the legal decision. And that's going to be the hope with the Star card. That's the new hope. So I do think that this case will go ahead, but after the election. And for the time being, it's just got to go through all the process. But I think as long as Kamala Harris is in the White House, I think this is all going to start again. I'm just going to have a bit of a dig further into this, guys. 2 seconds. So I don't make this reading too long, I might leave this reading here, and I'll do another couple of videos, but I don't want to make this video too long. But my feeling is, for this part at least, that things will start moving ahead after the election. I think that's another reason why it's so imperative that for the election that we all, that you guys get out there and vote. And as I've been ravaging on, just make sure that you're registered to vote, make sure your registration is up to date, and have a plan for voting, like we're all saying. I think so much is resting on this election. I just keep getting a pull to that, because we know for sure that if Donald Trump is elected president, which I don't think he will be, but if he is, It's bye-bye constitution, and he'll get all these cases thrown out, guaranteed. He'll get rid of them. So really, it's about the election with regards to this. There's no hope of any of this kicking on forward until after the election. So I'll have a look at that in a minute. But that's my take on it, guys. I'll be back soon. Okay, bye.